Simple enough on a fan motor. Okay, you guys, so we know that this is common. We have to have this. This is 110 volts, right? And then there's 110 volts here, which is high speed, and then low speed. Okay? So if we've got it on air conditioning, and we come up here, and we take and we just cut these wires off like I did here. These go to there, they're all color coded, right? And we take this off there, and we touch this to this, and it's got 240 volts, and the fan motor doesn't run. It's never going to. Fan motor won't run. You got 240 volts. Fan motor's bad. Simple as that. You don't have to hook nothing to it. You don't have to ask it no questions. You don't have to do anything. Now, what Chris was saying earlier, if this spins, will still spin freely. Check your capacitor. If this is tight and won't spin at all, fan motor. Simplest thing though, just check your voltage. If you've got 240 volts going to the fan motor and the fan motor won't work, check the capacitor. Capacitor's good, change your fan motor. Quit guessing it. Quit trying to figure out something else that's wrong with it. If it's got power, it's got power. It's just like a light bulb.
Yeah.
Right? When the light bulb goes out and we've got the switch on, what do? Well, change the bulb. Simple as that. Don't think too much into it, okay?
That's what I have a problem with.
Try to analyze stuff?
Yeah, try to
troubleshoot.
and make it more complicated than what it really is.
Just start through the sequence of series. Just remember that everything has, there's a reason for everything on here as far as the parts. So air conditioning runs the outside unit and the fan motor. Okay. Heater runs sequencer and the fan motor. That's all we do, right? Heat and cool. So you got this and this. You got this and this. That's all there is to it. Don't try to read too much into it. So if you're working on one thing, don't worry about this thing. Now I can tell you a situation where I had a guy call me not long ago and he asked me a question. He said, my fan's running all the time. And he said, and I changed the fan relay, but the fan's still running all the time. Okay. On certain situations, the way that they have these things wired, if they're not wired through this red on here, it can be the sequencer. So you need to check to see what kind of fan relay you got. And if I try to get into that, you're going to get really confused. Okay. But I can tell you that sometimes it can be the sequencers, the reason that your fan relay is not working and the reason the fan's not coming on. So don't just always think fan relay. Because on a fan relay, like I was saying, on a fan relay, if you've got power going through it on 240 volts going to the fan motor, just remember everything's 240. That's what we're checking. Heat's 240, fan's 240, air conditioning outside, everything's 240. Okay.
Okay. You just say this is my common, the yellow one. It shows you the motor should show you this the common, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And then you go common to black, common to red, either one.
High speed and low speed.
High speed and low speed. So if you turn your air conditioner on, it's on, and put it on fan on, it's automatically high speed.
No, to check the motor. I'm sorry. To
check
if
the motor
is good or not.
Yeah.
You check it common to high speed.
Yeah, it should be 110 to 110 make 240. If I turn the heat on, this is going to be 240.
Okay.
But with the fan in the on position, it will be this. It's always high speed.
Okay.
For 240.
High speed.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it? This is the same capacitor we were talking about earlier whenever we looked at these. It's a 5 and this is a 5. So he has them to change that out. Anything else on this stuff? No questions?
Some of those have 6.
Do what?
Some of those have 6.
Sometimes
5,
there's 6, sometimes there's 5.
Depends on the company or who makes it. First company uses 5.
Yeah. Okay.
Power theirs.
So you need to make sure you're putting the right part back on. If it says 6 and you've got a 5, get a 6, put a 6 on it later. It's like we've talked about all the way through everything that we've talked about.
And everybody's done a motor replacement on the the fur down.
Yeah.
And y'all know that it has to go back on the same way you
Same
take it
way.
off. Same thing with the scroll cages. If you put those on backwards, you're not
Backwards.
gonna get the same amount of airflow through that unit.
Inside of here, these fins are cupped like this, right?
Yeah.
And the reason they're cupped is to move air. Okay. So, do you guys think that if these things were full of dirt and they were leveled off full of dirt like this, do you think that would have any effect on that,
Yeah.
the way the outside unit was performing?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. So just so you know, it's just as important whenever we're worried about cleaning the coil that we need to make sure the squirrel cages are clean too. And like Chris was talking about, you guys can get these things out and you could be placing the motor and you can set them over here and then you go to put it back together and you get them switched. So then you get back in there, then you got all kinds of crazy pressures and you don't have no more airflow. But all you did was went in there. This is what happened. So you went in there, you changed the fan motor, you walked out the door. Yep, got it changed, it's working. Chris gets called out over the weekend. He goes over there. He's trying to figure out what the crazy pressures are. He's trying to figure out why there's no airflow. And then he gets up in there, so he's spending a lot more time on the call than he should be, right? And it's only because y'all got these running backwards. So if they run backwards, they're not moving air.